Will Michelle Wu have a contender named Ed Flynn? There's rumors going around the city of Boston. Y hoy tenemos, guess who? Guess we have in studio. Good morning, Ed Flynn.
Good morning, Alberto. It's great to be with you.
How are you?
I'm doing well. It's honored to be here. I love coming over here. And you have an exceptional radio program, exceptional newspaper. So wanted to come by and say hello to you and talk about issues of the day.
You've been a city council now for how many years?
7 years.
7 años.
Just starting the 8th year now.
Yeah, and now you're probably going to be up for re-election. I'm assuming.
That's likely.
That's likely.
I'm going to probably join my colleagues in the city council for one more term. I do love the job. I love the city. A lot going on. I want to be part of the decision making, provide the positive leadership, and do the best I can. I look at this sign. It reminds me of the sign: "Do not pound on the table." We should have one of these for the Boston City Council, Alberto.
No, do not. You should have one that says, "Do not pound on the table. Do not yell. Do not swear."
Yeah. No fighting. No wrestling.
No wrestling. Council. At least you can laugh about it. I love that.
Yeah.
What qualities does it take to be a positive leader for Boston?
Well, it's a great question. It's about, as I mentioned earlier, it's about listening, respecting people that you work with constituents, but also being engaged. You have to be in the community. You have to work the job. In my opinion, 7 days a week, especially the weekends. And it's being in the neighborhoods. It's being at various events. It's about returning phone calls, responding to emails. And constituent services, neighborhood services is critical. But when I came to the city council, I wanted to be surrounded by people in my office that came from diverse backgrounds. I hired almost all women of color that could speak Spanish, that could speak Cantonese, that could speak Mandarin. And because I did that, I was able to communicate effectively with all of my constituents. And that made a huge difference and impact. So now I have wonderful relationships with the Latino community or the Chinese community based on respect.
Yeah, I have a question about the homeless issue in the United States.
It's the number one question facing the city. I know people might disagree with me, but just because you come to Boston, we're very compassionate. We're welcoming people. I don't think that means we necessarily have to give you housing. Our compassion, in my opinion, is being taken granted of by neighboring cities and towns across New England. People, in fact, come to Boston for various reasons, but for free housing. Boston can't sustain that any longer.
How about Sandra Aleman pregunta, how about creating programs to help our homeless get rehabilitated long term? Going to detox for a couple of weeks.
Going to detox for a couple of weeks and then throwing them back on the streets is not working out.
Yep.
We need programs in housing to help them to stay clean. What do you have in plan for this urgent need?
I was a probation officer at Suffolk Superior Court for almost 8 years and dealt with returning citizens. And what they needed when they came out of jail or prison, they needed access to housing, short-term housing, long-term housing. But before they did that, they needed to be into a detox program and into recovery. In my opinion, it's very difficult to provide someone an apartment that is still using. It just doesn't work. Recovery is a critical part, and then once people continue in the recovery community, housing should be an option. Long-term and short-term housing, stable housing with wraparound services.
The state found millions and millions of dollars, went from $300 million to $900 million to house newly arrived. Mm-hmm. Why don't we use that money for the homeless situation or for people here?
I think residents of Massachusetts, they're paying high taxes and they're financially struggling, many of them. Yeah. And they want to ensure that their tax money is spent appropriately. Mm-hmm. And I just don't think, and I know many people disagree with me, I just don't think we're able to support every arriving immigrant coming to the city. Yeah, my social media, I have Ed for Boston,
Okay.
edforboston.com, and I'm on Twitter and Instagram as well. And I do a lot of my social media myself, but I also rely on my staff to do a lot of it also. But we communicate every day with residents on social media, but would love to hear from people that want to reach out, Ed for Boston or edforboston.com.
All right, we've had a spirited conversation today, and it's only 8:12.
I didn't know you could have this much fun in the morning.
How do you know?
You have a great group of people here, Alberto.
That's going to be the new logo.
Yeah.
I didn't know I could have this much fun in the morning.
That was great.
That's the new logo. We may
only
not
thing-
have coffee, but we do have fun.
I know. I'm just saying that it's La Hora del Café with the picture of the steaming hot coffee, but there's no coffee
That's below the belt.
That's one of the New Year's resolutions.
No.
That came right from South Boston.
No, what I said to you later was the BYOC.
Bring your own coffee.
There you go.
Yeah.